Hi there, this is Peter again, the Calva guy. Yesterday I showed you that you can use Calva's evaluation commands and interactive programming inside the CoPilot chat view in its code blocks. If you haven't seen that video, you can pause this one and watch that one first for this one to make more sense to you. Watched it? Great. Then you also know that there were some quirks with this kind of evaluation, mostly to do that Calva didn't really know which namespace to evaluate stuff in. And I have tried now to mitigate those quirks a bit, mainly by providing some custom CoPilot instructions. And the main thing is here actually, where I ask it to give code example using this template. So it will have an in-ns form there, and any requires it uses are in there, and that it can include some tests as well. So now we should see if that helps. Another thing I've done here is that I've used the workspace command here and asked it to summarize the project. And that is just to help it have more context when it helps us. So we have this calculator here. It's still always on April 1, whichever year we use here, because that's hard coded here, so that's the same as yesterday. And let's see here then. Something like that. And it walks us through the formula here. Oh, that's great, I think. And then it gives us this new code here. And as you can see, it actually includes the namespace from this file here. So that should mean that if we evaluate this function here, it should be that function that is now used in this application. If we just render it first. And now it says March 27 for this date, which is correct here. And for that one, it says April 16. That's great. For 1996, it's for April 8. That's correct, right? April 2. So it actually seems that it nailed it this time. It doesn't always do that. Let's say it hadn't done that. We have also in the instructions here taught it to use inline definition to give us some inspectability into what's happening in a function. So let's see, we can ask it add so now it should inline def things for us. So that's what it did now, because this function here, or this variable here, or argument to this function, it's local to the function, so it's not available to the REPL. But if we def it like this, we get it defined in the namespace level, unless we can evaluate it and inspect it. But first we need to define this new function, and we need to call it. So we can call it with 2016. So now it has run this function, so it has run all these definitions here. So we could see here that it's the year 2016 that we have here, and we can look at G or L or whatever. Let's say we actually understood this code, or maybe you do, but I don't. And these variables make sense to us, and then you can use it to debug stuff. And we can, of course, check all these days here. And it's now important to understand that now it's this function that is running in the application here and not this function. So we actually need, if we want to make this stick, we want to copy this code into here. But first we want to remove the inline defs. Actually, in this case, we could have copied the code from up there, but so let's check if something that hasn't. Still seems to check out. We can run the tests here and it should return nil when all pass. So that's great. Now we can take this code here and we can install that code here. And now our application is fixed for some definition of fixed. Yeah, that's cool, right? And that's what I want to show you today, that we could mitigate this namespace thing by having it include the namespace there. Quite often when I try this, it actually doesn't include the namespace correctly here. But then it's always just to tell it which namespace to use and it will rewrite it. I hope you will try this, and I hope you will tell me how you fare with it and where you want us to take it. Thanks for watching. All right, so let's see here if we can. This was encouraging. So let's see if we can also have it work with the UI for us here. Let's see what it does with this. Okay, so it re-implements a lot of code here, but it's actually the year picker. Year place. Okay. So let's see if we instead render that. Yeah, actually seems like it should work, right? But for some reason it doesn't. I see. So there's something else that makes it. This gives it the hover class here. So if we reload this thing here now. So now we should highlight 2024. Yeah, how it works. Awesome. How's that for interactive programming? We haven't updated the code inside this file. This file doesn't have much to do actually with application, this part of the application, because we have just defined a new function into existence inside the app from here instead. Very cool. And yeah, please try this, and let me know how you fare and what we can do to leverage this even more in Calva. Bye bye.